Winners take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home your own big win. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and so much more. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to make every shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
All right, thank you, Anthony. The Cavs, Game 5 tonight in Boston, TNT, just after 7 o'clock. By the way, did you see the I'll talk about it later. Forget it. So, the Cavs played their ass. You were on Monday, so you've all had a chance to comment on it.
Yeah.
The Cavs played their asses off Monday night. I think we all gave them credit for that, considering how shorthanded they were.
Yeah.
But this game is on the road. It appears that Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen will not play. Karis LeVert's dealing with an injury now, too. He's questionable also.
Bone bruise. He's questionable.
I think, I'll just speak for myself. I thought they were going to get destroyed in Game 4, and I was so impressed with how they played. I just can't see them doing it again in Boston. The Celtics are not going to want to come back here and have to play another game. I think I'll be surprised if the Cavs cover the spread, which is like 15 or whatever it is, let alone win. Crazier things have happened, but I can't see them playing that tough a game again, that shorthanded in Boston. Can you guys?
No. First and foremost, I want to say this.
Yeah.
League ain't letting that go down. I thought y'all was done because I wasn't on here the other day. One of the worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life, boo. And
but I'm not buying this big market, small market nonsense. I'm not buying it. I just don't believe that.
I just saw an NBA player who's his brother's rich gamble on the game. I don't understand how that happens. I understand, people say it's kind of far fetched, but I'm not gonna say it's out and out some sort of narrative. But one thing I will say in basketball, and it's been this way since the beginning of time. If you got a team and that team is a traditional power, they are going to get those calls. When you look at that game and the disparities in free throws, there was some phantom calls on jump shots. When you start calling fouls on jump shots, looking for things, the pulling of the ankle, and I'm not a guy that's saying people is cheating. My thing is this. They not letting, if you wasn't getting no calls at home, what do you think gonna happen on Boston?
I actually think
Boston.
I actually think it would have been better for the league if the Cavs won Game 4 because the longer these series go, the better. But listen. I know everybody was complaining about the officials. I wasn't complaining as much as others. There were some bad calls. I don't believe in fixes and all this stuff. I know things have happened over the years. I don't believe that the league is trying to cheat for the home team. For the bigger market team. Yes, the Cavs did not get the benefit of the whistle. Yes, they will not get the benefit of the whistle tonight.
They sure as heck
I agree with you there. But I just, to me, there's too much talk about the officials.
Well, here, I'll say this. Maybe I won't go as far as saying it's a conspiracy theory, but this league was built on, we talk about Michael Jordan all the time. This league was built on the fact that when he started getting calls and they started saying, okay, that's Mike, you can't do that. That's when a lot of things change.
But that's more about superstars than the market of the team.
That's where I'm going, right?
Okay.
So when you see Tatum and you see Brown,
stars get called.
If they miss a shot, it's like you as a ref, you're a human. Like, oh well, Jason Tatum been missing a little bit.
And without Donovan Mitchell, it was more noticeable because the Cavs didn't have a guy like that.
Yes. But back to the lesson at hand.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do in this game? It's not going to look good. I remember there was a game, and I was at OU, and this was we was playing at Marshall one year, and both defensive ends had got hurt. Right, I played defensive end. They're like, yeah, bro, we gonna move you to nose tackle today.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. We go to Huntington. We get there. The rain. We get to Huntington, West Virginia. The rain it's raining sideways. It was one of the most miserable days in my life. And I'm like, man, it's cold. It's rainy. We're 1-9. We're 1-9, and I'm playing nose tackle. And I'm like this. I'm making business decisions. I'm like, well, look, I got another year. I'm not about to come out here because I had already injured my knee the last game of the year as a freshman against North Carolina State. I said, I tore my ACL the last game. Like, I'm not getting set back again. Am I saying I didn't play hard? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you didn't have that thing that was driving you to say, I got to make every play. I got to do this, that. You're like, listen, I'm going to get up out of here, and we're going to take these L's, and then we figure out what's going on in the offseason and get better. For the Cavs, when Donovan Mitchell was not playing, they gave all they had at home. Jarrett Allen ain't playing. You might not even see your ball players. So you got Mobley, who has an ankle, and Darius Garland, who did play well without, the rest of the guys. But they don't have enough. They didn't have enough when everybody was healthy. Yeah. So what are they going to do today?
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill climb. There's no doubt about it. I would be shocked if Donovan plays tonight. We talked about the calf strain a little bit yesterday. That's an injury that takes not days but weeks to heal. Giannis suffered a calf strain before the end of the regular season, and he didn't play the entirety of the Pacers series. That's what Porzingis is dealing with. He hasn't played in 2 weeks, and he's still not ready to play. Kevin Durant, before he tore his Achilles, back when he was in the finals, he was coming off a calf strain. He rushed back. With the offseason ahead of him and the potential of a calf strain turning into an Achilles injury, I can't imagine he plays tonight. I know he's a warrior, and it sucks that your best player is not going to be out there, but frankly, I'd be shocked if Donovan Mitchell is on the court. I think there's a better chance Jarrett Allen plays, but he's been questionable for close to 3 weeks now. Who knows how he's going to wake up and feel? So I think they'll be without their 2 starters tonight. They'll be down. And when you see a team go out and compete the way they did in Game 4, it's difficult to then replicate that in Game 5, especially on the road. But I don't think it's impossible for the Cavs to compete, guys. I mean, we could see a similar performance from we saw from Max Strus in the first half. Right. We could see other guys step up. They had guys who played well. They also had guys who didn't really do a whole lot that can play a lot better in Game 5. At this point, they have nothing to lose.
I'll tell you, can you put up that tweet again from Evan? The big news, though, you left it out there.
Craig Porter Jr.
Craig Porter Jr. upgraded from out to doubtful. I mean, that's a big one. But Earl the Pearl favorite Ty Jerome remains out for this one.
If we're talking adjustments, I do have a couple of things I think the Cavs can change from their Game 4 game plan.
My, silly humor.
No. Well, I mean, listen, Ty Jerome is the biggest Ty Jerome's biggest question. He played 3 minutes all season and has been out with I don't even know what he's hurt with. It didn't tear an ACL. He didn't break his neck.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, will you look up neck? That seems extreme.
Well, that's what caused him to miss the whole season. Will you look up what injury did Ty Jerome suffer?
I think he's got succitis to his left ankle.
He suffered a right ankle sprain in 101-8 to 105 loss to the Thunder is what Google says.
That was the 3rd game of the season, guys.
Wow. You got a sprained ankle 6 months ago?
That's what I'm saying. That whole situation makes no sense. So I don't even want to joke about Ty Jerome because I thought he can contribute to this team. And we literally haven't seen him since 72 hours from the opening tip, and we're about...
Did you ever see the movie? I'm sorry to cut you off. Has anybody here, I bet you nobody here has seen this. Have you ever, anybody seen the movie Summer School with Mark Harmon? Has anybody seen that movie? Steve, G. Bush, anybody?
I have
nobody?
Not,
no.
There's a movie, it's called Summer School. It's an 80s comedy. At the time, it was hilarious. Watching back now, it's kind of cringe and dated. But there's a guy who goes to the bathroom. These kids are troubled kids. They go to one guy goes to the bathroom the first day of summer school, and he shows up on the last day with the pass.
That's crazy.
Right, last day, and he got the highest grade on the test. That's Ty Jerome. He showed up on the first day, went to the bathroom, and he's never come back.
People in the chat are saying, McNuggets, there is a couple of things that you can do. Like when you...
I have 5 adjustments for y'all.
You got 5?
I got them.
5 adjustments that are going to lead the Cavs to victory.
Not to lead to victory necessarily, but things I think could actually allow them to compete tonight, and if everything goes well, they can.
Let me throw in all them.
You start. You start.
I'm going to throw in, free Monty Bates. Stop playing around. He's eligible for the playoff roster.
No, he's not.
He ain't. What happened?
No, he's a 2-way player. He can't play in the playoffs.
What?
How do you? What kind of red shirt? What kind of red shirt?
2-way contracts are not eligible for the playoffs.
G. Bush has been on him all year, and I've had no interest. But that got me excited for a second.
I'm like, yo,
I hate to be the buzzkill. I'm just telling you.
Play him in the garden. See what he got. How you get a two-way deal? Listen, by the way, this is why the Cavs are run like a JV organization. These guys are still doing rudimentary high school things. Remember back in the day when you used to be freshmen, but they let you dress JV? And you're like, but listen, I don't really want to go to the JV games. I want to sit in the stands and watch the varsity.
You just got to
play.
get your minutes in.
I just want my minutes. And then it's even worse when if you're a junior and they say, you got to play JV before a varsity game. You're like, I ain't doing that. I don't want to play in that JV game, period. The stats don't even count. You got Imani Bates. You got one of the Mobleys. You got all the ball players at the end of the bench wearing jewelry and hanging out. By the way, Mr. Mobley, that shirt he had on, he had a sweater the other day. That was
funny.
That wasn't it.
Well, I didn't see it.
It said, I need space.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because all we want Evan Mobley to do is space the floor.
Yeah.
Like, all we've been begging Evan Mobley for 3 years to do is space the floor, and he comes in with a sweatshirt that says, I need space.
There you go. The floor is
Evan
yours.
Mobley?
Yeah,
Evan Mobley, yeah.
What's the other Mobley?
Isaiah.
Is he eligible?
No, he's a two-way player.
By the way,
But Craig Porter Jr., real quick, sorry to cut you off, but Craig Porter Jr. signed a full NBA contract.
Right.
They converted his two-way status to a full-time NBA player, which is why, had he been healthy, he is eligible, which is why Evan's tweet about him being upgraded from
doubtful.
out to doubtful is actually
wow, it's crazy.
He could, in theory, play tonight.
Yeah.
Imani Bates and others
Right.
cannot.
Karis LeVert also questionable for tonight's game. And so far in the playoffs for the Cavs, questionable has meant out.
Yes. I'm telling you, I'd be shocked if Donovan plays tonight.
Yeah.
I think there's a much better chance, and by much, I think it's like a 1% chance Donovan plays, maybe a 10%. No, I'm saying there's a 1% chance Donovan, and that's probably even being a little too high.
Yeah.
I think it's 10 to 20% for Jarrett Allen.
Really? I don't think there's any chance that either are going to play, but
Go ahead with your adjustments.
All right.
So I do have 5 legitimate adjustments,
legitimate.
and I have videos for 3 of them.
Okay.
First,
Number 5.
or number 1, whatever. You can all go whatever order you want. You got to start Dean Wade. Isaac Okoro has given you absolutely nothing offensively, and the Cavs need the spacing. And play the Okoro video. The Celtics have decided for the second postseason in a row, we're just not going to guard Isaac Okoro, and you're playing 4-on-5. Look how open they leave Isaac Okoro whenever Steve wants to hit play on the video, so it actually plays, Steve.
Yeah.
Look how open they leave Isaac in the corner.
He might as well not even be on the court.
You're playing 4-on-5 offensively, and
Are they that worried about Dean Wade, though, either? I agree with you, but, they got to guard him?
They'll guard him more than they'll guard Isaac Okoro. And at least Dean Wade is a good rebounder. He doesn't look like he should be a good rebounder.
He wasn't a good rebounder last game.
No, but his actual rebound percentage in the regular season has been high.
You're right.
He's 6'9". He actually guarded Jason Tatum way better than anyone else did in Game 4. He held him to 1 of 7 shooting according to NBA's tracking data. So you get a little more size with Dean Wade. You get theoretically a little more spacing and shooting, and you're a better rebounding team with Dean. Isaac, his point of attack defense is really good. However, he's 6'5", and Boston's guards, Holiday and White, aren't the ones necessarily initiating the offense. So I'm fine taking Okoro out. If they're going to sink off him and play 5 feet off, he's not helping you offensively if he's not making shots. Give me Dean Wade. At least give him a shot.
Okay.
That's more size, more spacing. G, what do you think about adjustment number 1?
Isaac, this is Isaac Okoro's last game. We can't.
I'm kind of done with him, too.
I mean, look, you can't. We can't keep doing this where he plays well during the regular season. It don't even be that well. It'd be like, okay, I'm playing hard. Nobody else is playing hard. and
he has like a 20-game stretch every year where he looks like he's made big strides and then goes completely.
This was his best regular season, but we'll call a best regular season a spade a spade. He's a 8.5 point per game, 35% 3-and-D shooter.
Yeah. And like you said, I would like a little more length on him, by the way. Like, at least Dean Wade is 6'8".
Yep.
When you got smaller guards like that, man, it's okay, man. We got another 3-and-D guy coming in the draft. Shout out to Bronny James, man. You know what I'm saying? 3-and-D. You know what it is, man. We got a 6'1", 210, built like a cornerback, 41-inch vertical. Look, we, knocking down shots. Now, look, hey, we just get younger. You know what I'm saying? Developing.
I saw this before we go to the next one. Somebody sent me this tweet. It was from a very reliable source, Hoops Wire.
Yep.
Fran Leyva of Fadeaway World. I mean, if you can't trust Fran Leyva of Fadeaway World, who can you trust? He proposed the following trade idea between the Cavs and the Clippers. The Cavs would trade Karis LeVert, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, and Niang, and a 2031 first-round pick.
Okay.
For Paul George.
For Paul George. Would we do it?
Yes.
Would they do it?
Yeah, oh,
What do you got to say about that?
Paul George is.
Does he have anything left in the tank?
He does. He's
Yeah.
tomorrow or Monday, depending on whenever the Cavs season ends, or
Yeah.
hopefully in 3 weeks if it keeps extending. We'll go over the list of trade candidates and free agent candidates.
Mikey got to see.
I'll tell you a little heads up. Paul George is on that list. So
Pull
Okay.
back. See, Mikey,
But
I
why
like
would the
that.
Clippers trade him for 4 guys?
because they have no depth, they don't want to pay him a max contract over a 4-year
So maybe
span.
that trade makes sense for them because they're
Yeah.
4 decent,
Yeah.
serviceable players, and they get a first-round pick in 7 years.
And they ain't doing nothing with him.
Yeah.
They ain't going
you
nowhere.
think that could possibly happen? That's not crazy?
I think it'd be a little more than that, but the idea of a Paul George
Yeah.
trade is not totally unrealistic.
Now the Cavs would have they'd have a really good starting 5 and then no bench.
Hey, man, I like how you snuck that
know?
trade machine in there.
Sneak it
You know,
in.
McNuggets.
I just said
McNuggets be
sneak it in,
Xing
by the way.
that. He don't like that. Season's not over, boo. We can't talk trade.
No, hey, I will say this morning,
Yeah.
and Ant and Earl could attest, we got a ton of graphics with the NFL schedule coming out tonight to make tomorrow. So
Yeah.
just in case, and I hope we don't need it tomorrow, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
all y'all in the chat, get your trades, the trade machines
trades
going.
ready.
It's ready to go.
We're ready to go. We've
Hope it
been
doesn't come to
chomping
that.
at the bit.
I hope we don't pull it out till June after they win the NBA championship.
Stop
But
it.
just
You know
in
they're
case,
losing tonight.
just in
We
case.
gotta
All
live
right,
in reality. Go ahead.
adjustment number 2. This goes back to what G said earlier with the refereeing.
Yeah.
We've spent all season complaining about Evan Mobley not going up strong and saying Darius Garland's scared of contact and Karis LeVert is herky-jerky. Well, those 3 traits do not lend themselves to drawing whistles. If you're going up weak, if you're fading away, if you're not attacking the contact as the offensive player, you are not going to get the benefit of the doubt, especially if you're not a star caliber player like
Right.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or Donovan Mitchell. So tonight,
Most teams the Cavs play are more aggressive going to the basket than the Cavs.
Yes,
And
and-
that's part of the reason they don't get as many calls.
exactly, and we can't sit here and spend all regular season saying Darius is scared of contact and
Yeah.
Evan why doesn't he go up strong, and then complain when we don't get free throws. If you go up weak, you are not going to get the call. So tonight, when you get to the cup and when you attempt a shot within 2-3 feet of the bucket, yes, you have to hope the refs are actually going to blow their whistle and help you out. But you can't go up weak and soft. You can't have it both ways. So attack with a purpose, drive with a purpose, and try and finish through the Celtics, not around them. That's adjustment number 2.
I like adjustment number 2. It's a good point. I think every time there's and again, I acknowledge that the Cavs got screwed on a couple of calls. Yes.
I do agree with that too.
But every time there's a disparity in free throws, people just say, "Oh, it's unfair." But part of it is what you're saying.
Yeah, and they shot 48 threes
Right.
too.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
Sam Merrill got fouled on the last
Yeah.
shot in the third quarter. That should have been free throws. But when they shoot as many threes as they did, and when they go up weak as frequently as they have, that doesn't lead to getting a favorable
By
whistle.
the way, you know what would be the greatest thing ever for the NBA?
If I won $1 million,
Why would that be great? That'd be great for you.
well then I'd make
But it
more
wouldn't be
NBA
great for the
content,
NBA.
so it'd be great for the NBA.
But wouldn't it be great if, like, I don't know why we don't have this technology. It's just like we talk, with football, we always talk about, like, put a chip in the ball. So
Yeah.
we're not measuring with a chain still in 2024. How stupid
Yeah.
is that? How about in the NBA, if guys had, like, sensors or whatever? So, like, if the sensor goes off, it's a foul. If it doesn't go off, it's not a foul. Boom. No complaining, no whining, no nothing. There's got to be the technology for that.
Well, if you touch a person, you're allowed to have contact.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah.
Well, you got to figure it out. Let's go. It's 2024. Let's have the technology.
What they should do, to me, I think, first of all, I don't like all the 3-point stuff. Like Jay said something the other day,
Yeah.
and I do respect it. Like, it is tough to watch. It's a 3-point shooting contest
It is.
at this point.
It is.
Like, it's not. I remember, and I went back to just see if I was tripping or not. I was in the time machine on YouTube. I'm like, man, there's some of these fouls that they was like the Knicks,
Yeah, oh my
and
God.
and the Pistons. Like,
Yeah.
it was, you had, like, for you to get that call, it was like life or death. You
Yeah.
had to be dead halfway.
I love that.
I like
I
the
like
fact-
them letting them play. I like the physical play. And
I like all the positions
Yeah.
that other people can play. And here's my thing. Do you believe that they will move the 3-point shot back?
no, the NBA likes scoring,
Yeah.
so I don't think they have
and
any
here's
reason
the thing,
to.
G, young fans love it.
Yeah.
I think we're, like I'm like that too. Like I don't like the NBA as much as I used to. Now I do enjoy the playoffs still, and I've watched a good amount of these other playoff games. So I enjoy the playoffs. As you know, I find the regular season unwatchable now, which I was never the case when I was younger. I don't like, I hate all the threes, and I love, like when Evan Mobley made that move to the basket the other day late in the game and did the dunk.
Dunked it on Holiday.
Like I feel like we don't see plays like that very often, and I love that basketball. I loved watching Patrick Ewing and Akeem Olajuwon.
like
Alonzo Mourning.
Even like Robert Parrish against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like those were great fun battles in the paint. Even up until Tim Duncan and Shaq, but now you just don't. Now the big guys all shoot, which is fine, but it's just it feels like everybody plays the same way.
Embiid's a little bit of a throwback. He goes down low. Jokic he's not a throwback because there's nothing like him.
Yeah,
but he does a lot of his damage in the post, and he was pirouetting around Rudy Gobert last night. I don't know if you guys saw the Nuggets game.
A lot of people owe the Nuggets apologies. There was a lot of people ending their season at 0-2.
That was a masterclass from Jokic last night.
Oh my
he had
God.
a 40-burger.
Yeah.
And he didn't miss a single shot until the last 2 minutes of the game when guarded by Rudy Gobert.
Well, their whole team, they had Porter was like 1 for 10.
And no one else really
the rest
played
of their
that
team
great.
shot like 70%.
Let me ask you this. I was thinking like, just basically with this roster, right? And you talk about adjustments. They don't do this all too often, but I went back and I was watching it, and I watched how Vlade Divac and Chris Webber played with Sacramento, and they worked a lot at the elbow. Like they really initiated.
I have been screaming. Right? Evan Mobley at the elbow should be a significantly bigger part of their offense. He's a good passer. He's a good initiator. Jarrett Allen's not even bad in that sense, but when Jarrett Allen's out, I don't understand why they don't run more through Evan Mobley, because I think even if it's just passing the ball out and we want him to be more aggressive, that gets him involved in the offense, and I think if he feels more involved in the game plan and the offense, he'd be more aggressive in his shot attempts. So I agree with you, G. I think that's a missed opportunity from this Cavs staff and organization to utilize his best offensive skill set on a more frequent basis.
Yeah, if you give him the ball at the elbow, he's done a good enough job where you can run high-low with him and Jarrett Allen, and God forbid you get a three. God forbid you get somebody like Brandon Ingram. And then you can really now you can I don't believe that it's a done deal that Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley can play together. You just need a three that can do some other things. And maybe like I like the fact that I really love the lineup when they had Lauri Markkanen, Jarrett Allen, and Mobley.
Still need more spacing.
So
you can't. I just don't think you can win consistent with two non-shooters. So it all works if Mobley develops a shot.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: if in theory, Paul George was their three,
it helps a lot more.
Then you probably could get by with it. I mean, if your starting lineup was Darius Donovan, Paul George, Allen, and Mobley, like that's a great starting lineup.
It's a very good start. Yeah.
Now I don't know who the hell's on the bench, but.
Yeah. The question is, in the regular season, it'll work. In the postseason, is there enough spacing when teams decide we're just not going to guard that extra player and put the fifth guy in the paint? That's the big question.
Right. And how do you
counter adjust?
How does it work with Paul George and Mitchell and
But that's a great problem to have and figure out.
All right. Get to your next one.
Third adjustment. This is a little niche thing, but when Evan Mobley is setting screens, or Tristan Thompson or whoever, but especially Evan Mobley, I want him to hold that ball screen for half a second longer.
Right.
The reason is you have Derek White and Drew Holiday and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown chasing these guys off, and they're always dropping. Al Horford's in drop coverage on 99.5% of their possessions. It's essentially a switch. They start and drop, then they switch. The guard has to chase over and around. If Mobley holds that screen for half a second longer, half a count, a one miss, not even Mississippi, just a one miss, that gives Donovan, Darius, Karras, whoever's in that position tonight, it won't be Donovan, I don't think, an extra half second to diagnose and read the defense before the backside defender comes over the screen. And because it's Al Horford against Evan Mobley, the lob threat's still there. The reason you don't hold the screen is you want your roller to get down, be in a position for a lob. It happens so quick. But if Evan Mobley can't catch a lob over Al Horford, he's taller than Al Horford, he's more athletic than Al Horford, he has a significantly longer wingspan than Al Horford, then we got other Evan Mobley questions to deal with. So I don't think you're sacrificing having him in the lob position as that lob threat roller by holding the screen an extra half second. That just gives a little more space time an ability for whoever the ball handler is to dissect the defense and figure out what the best point of attack is.
By the way, speaking of Horford, doesn't he look completely shot?
Yeah, he's old. He's 30.
Yeah.
He's a great backup big.
Are they
A great backup big.
Are they getting Porzingis back in the next round? Do we know?
Before Game 4, Joe Mazzulla said his pregame warm-up with Porzingis was the best he had moved to date. So he's progressing. But it's a calf strain. It's the same thing Mitchell has, which is why
Don't you think they're
I
going to
can't
need
imagine
him
he
to
plays.
win it all?
100%.
Right?
They have no chance without it. 0.0% chance without
The
it.
way the Knicks played, do you think the Knicks could beat the Celtics? That was an impressive bounce back by the Knicks last night.
They may have 6 healthy players by that point. So
what's his name? Oh my God,
Brunson?
Brunson looked fine last night.
Brunson looked good, but it's different going against Indiana's guards defensively than Drew Holiday and Derek White.
I think they have a really good chance to beat them.
Shams just tweeted real quick. Sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. Donovan Mitchell expected to miss tonight's game.
Oh yeah, that ain't happening. The Knicks, to me, I've been saying it all offseason. Even though the Cavs play hard,
Yeah,
the Knicks always look like they're playing frantically.
Yeah.
Like it's like they playing like their wife and kids is tied up
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
And then plus I've always said this. Like I'm still waiting for this to happen to the Cavs. Right. Josh Hart has been a guy who's been on multiple teams. Right.
I wanted him here so bad last year.
He gets to New York, and guess what? He
thrives.
he thrives.
Thrives.
You can see the confidence he playing with. He like, yo, I'm going to play defense. I hit threes now, and I'm going to get 12, 15 rebounds.
Yeah, right.
DiVincenzo, we talked about him as one of the guys that you potentially wanted to bring
Last
in
year.
here.
Plays with a lot of confidence, yeah.
Yep.
This guy is out here playing with all the confidence in the world. So when you watch these guys, Hartenstein was here.
Yeah,
He
we
was
didn't
on
do
your
anything with it.
roster.
Yeah, it's true.
And these guys are getting the most out of these dudes. I'm still waiting for a time.
Thibodeau's a hell of a coach.
When are we gonna get a guy we be like, man?
Yeah, right.
Where'd he come from?
Yeah, right.
One thing on Tibbs with this particular Knicks roster, and we'll get back because my next adjustment I think is the biggest one we have to actually hit on. But one thing with Tibbs in this particular Knicks roster, I don't think it's talked about enough because he coaches hard. Like there's no baby footing around how he coaches. The 3 best players on the roster healthy right now: Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart. Then Villanova 3.
Right, yeah.
And even OG, and I'll make it the point is they all played multiple years in college. And I know that may seem like nothing, but all these guys who go one and done, they don't get coached in college. Their college coaches kind of just say, hey, it's a rental, you're here 3 months, go. Brunson played 4 years. DiVincenzo played 3 years. Hart played 3 years. And Anunoby played 2 years.
Yeah.
Hartenstein, I don't know where he came from. Mitchell Robinson played 2 years.
Right.
Randall's the one. You can coach those guys harder because I think they've actually been coached hard in their life before, especially the Nova guys like Jay Wright.
Yeah,
who
that's a good point.
He's not. You look at all the guys, and I'm just using the Cavs for example. I'm not comparing them. Garland 1 and done. Mobley 1 and done. Mitchell played 2 years for Rick Pitino at Louisville.
Right.
He's the exception.
Yeah.
Jarrett Allen 1 and done. I think, and this is maybe a big picture NBA thing, but all these 1 and done dudes who come out aren't used to being coached the way these guys who stayed through college 3, 4, 5
That's
years.
fair.
And why a guy like Tibbs with that particular roster
Works.
it's like a match made in heaven. Tibbs doesn't work for a lot of other rosters.
No, that's fair.
And he tends to burn out.
Yeah.
Really,
Right.
he burns bright.
Yeah.
But I'll say, I forgot about Julius Randle. Like,
Yeah, they haven't.
they got a school. They got a squad. I mean, Julius Randle's a 25 point
Yeah,
He was
scorer in this
all
league.
NBA last year.
Is Anunoby going to be back for the
He has
Eastern Conference Finals?
He has a hamstring strain. So
Are
it's
you
one of
rooting
those.
for the Knicks against the Celtics?
I
Assuming
would
that
I would want
happens?
the Knicks to beat the Celtics. Yeah, I want to see
Gee, who you
MSG
rooting for, Knicks,
in
Celtics?
an NBA MSG in the finals would be a
Oh,
lot.
I listen. I can't stand. I don't like the Celtics.
I
don't.
hate the Celtics.
And
Jaylen Brown pissed me off.
Jay-
Well, then this next adjustment's right up your alley.
Jaylen
Bro.
Brown,
Adjustment number 4.
Boy,
Late in the shot clock, under 10 seconds. Before 10, this is irrelevant. Under 10 seconds. As soon as Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum turn their back to try and post up whatever defender's on them, I'm sending help. In games 1 and games 2, we saw Derek White, we saw Drew Holiday, and Steve, I got a video for this one. We saw other guys make shots. In the last 2 games, they haven't made shots.
That's right.
Jason Tatum, when the shot clock's winding down, he can do stuff like this. That's a great move.
that's nasty.
You can't stop it. As soon as he turns his back, Jaylen Brown right there, I'm sending 2.
Yeah.
Make him kick it out to someone else. Make Peyton Pritchard. Make Drew Holiday. Make Derek White. Make somebody else try and beat you as
And
opposed
if you lose to those guys,
you beat them.
What are you going to do?
But if you do it too early, then the Celtics have a chance to swing. You get caught in double rotations.
Right.
It's really hard to recover. If you wait till the shot clock gets under 10, it's one rotation. You can recover and live through one rotation before Boston comes back and beats you. So under 10 seconds, as soon as their back turns, I'm sending help. You can recover, you can rotate. But those guys late in the shot clock, I'm not letting them beat me one-on-one.
And I'll go ahead and throw something else on that. Only one of y'all gonna get off. I'm sorry. Only one. Listen, pick one. I would listen. I think Jason Tatum can beat you more than Jaylen Brown. So I'm like, listen, Jaylen Brown, you're gonna have to hit us for 90.
Yeah.
I'm doubling every single time, and that's like you said. Because they hitting a lot of shots with under 10 seconds.
They play slow, they work it around, and they find Brown or Tatum and say, hey, bail us out of a bad possession.
Yeah, ring around the rosy. Hey, Drew Holiday, if you 150 or Derek White 150, go ahead and get it today. But I'm not going to let you get that off. I can't let both of y'all get 30. And I think they need to be playing. After that ankle thing, see, here's what I would like to see. After the pulling of the ankle, and they didn't let you, they was like, oh, that was how's that a basketball play?
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
I don't got no problem with this. I'm a football player. Remember they had that comment, well, football players play basketball or basketball? Listen, I'm putting you in the first runner stance. I got a flagrant ready. I got one ready. It's in my pocket. Yeah. Like you go up, I'm coming all around the shoulders. Right up in here, hard foul. And I'm looking at you and be like, yeah, I can take one. You need to be like, you bring
in Morris just for that.
You can't let
Morris,
these
Thompson.
dudes float around and be like, I don't like how Jaylen Brown just, I got a beard.
Oh, I was pissed about that with his trash talking at the end of the game.
My beard is full, and I got cornrows that go sideways, and I'm pigeon toed. Shut up.
Last adjustment.
Wait a minute, hold on one second.
Oh, yeah.
Jaylen Brown, fake tough guy. I said he's a fake tough guy. Earl said he thinks he's a real tough guy. What are you buying?
Jaylen Brown ain't a tough guy.
See, Earl, come on.
He got designs in his hair. Ain't nobody got no design. Says the guy with a part in his hair.
Earl's definitely a tough guy.
I know Earl's a tough guy. That's why I figure
he'd
recognize a fake tough guy.
No, but G said you can't have tough guy if you have designs in your hair.
You can't have designs. Zigzags.
Last adjustment. I know we got to talk Browns. This is more personal. For the love of God, if Peyton Pritchard has the ball in the final 10 seconds of the third quarter, tackle him. I want to see a DeQuell Jackson spear. Get him out. He has hit 2 dagger threes to end the third quarter, which essentially stopped any momentum and a chance of a Cavs comeback. If he has the ball late in the third quarter, do not let Peyton Pritchard get off a shot. This is a stupid adjustment. This is a Mike Lucas personal adjustment. But for the love of God, if I see Peyton Pritchard another 3 to close out the third quarter, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Foul him. I don't care. Yeah. Do not let Peyton Pritchard get that shot
Mike
off.
is worked up about Peyton Pritchard because Peyton Pritchard looks like every best player on a Division III roster in America.
He don't like that.
That's the most spot-on thing you've ever said in the history of your life.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
It's always like a kind of a little bit, strong white dude who can dribble, who can shoot.
Didn't he play for you too?
No, he played at Oregon.
No. I thought he played for the Cavs for 6 seconds.
No, he was drafted by the Celtics. Yeah. He's always been a Celtic.